I was in Toronto, and up until then, I had been, I'd been pretty short. I'd been only kind of up to here tall, and I'd been really skinny, and I had a gap the size of my pinky between my front teeth. I could fit it between my front teeth. So I mean, people would give me a hard time and stuff, but I was pretty good at just, laughing about it, and I was pretty good-natured about it. But I mean, I was a pretty goofy-looking kid with a gap that big between my front teeth, right? And so all of a sudden I get to Toronto, and I'm tall, and I have braces on, so my teeth are kind of fixed, and I had contacts instead of glasses. And I was just kind of a normal kid, and I was able to finally just fit in, and anyway, so that was probably just the 2 years where I guess I had the option just to stay just a Christian kid, or else just explore other stuff. And I spent 2 years just going stale in my faith, and no longer choosing to walk with the Lord, and instead just choosing to hang out with just people at school who were just kind of I mean, they weren't horrible people, but they're just troublemakers. The kind of people that it's like you hang around them and they magnetize trouble. Wherever they go, it just comes to them. They don't even have to do anything, it just comes. So I got in, I drank a bit in grade 10, 11, and 12, and did a bit of drugs too, not a whole lot, but enough to know that I was just thinking to myself, I was like, Harrison, what is this leading you to, man? And lots of my friends would say, they're like, oh, this is the youth, man. This is the time of your life to explore stuff, just have fun. But I remember thinking, no, there's something else to this. And for my parents, I knew that. But I remember thinking that there's more to this. And I have a scripture right here. It's in Proverbs 14:12, and it says, there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. And that was powerful for me, because I didn't have a lot of common sense, but I had enough sense. God gave me enough sense. The Spirit in me just gave me enough sense to say that this is just going to lead to death. Death of the spirit, like a soul of sand, and it's not going to be giving me life. So I remembered thinking, man, I got to make a choice here. And so I had enough sense to just choose the Lord. I gave my life to Him. I got baptized. But that's not enough. It's enough, but you have to put your actions where your words are as well. So I remember thinking, man, if I stay around Toronto, I'm just going to be around these troublemakers, and I'm going to give my life to Christ, but that I'm still in these circles of troublemakers. So I got to do something here. And Toronto wasn't my home, Manitoba was my home. And so I remember thinking, I got graduated, and everyone was saying, yeah, let's just be friends for forever and all this kind of stuff. And I remember thinking, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow, and I'm out of here. So what I did is I left for BC. My brother was living in BC. I left for BC. I just got baptized, gave my life to Christ. I booked it as fast as I could, and I went right to BC and got myself involved in a church. I showed up every Sunday, and I just said, I want to become a man of God. And there were real men of God there, and I just looked up to them as much as I could. I worked, and thank you to the Lord. I got myself in good circles of faith and encouragement, and that did lots for me. I spent 5 years working out there, and now I'm the man I am today, confident in the Lord and running to Him. But I have one thing that I want to share before I'm done. There's a story in the Old Testament, 1 Samuel 30, and it talks about David. David gets into some big trouble, and he comes back with his mighty men, and he comes back to his camp, and all the wives have been stolen. The camp's burned down. It's big trouble, and he's in charge, so all of his guys are freaking out. They're really upset and sad and torn up about it, and he is like, man, this sucks. I'm in serious trouble here. But what he does is, it says, is, but David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. And it's a small little sentence, but it's been powerful for me my whole time, because we just need to constantly look to Jesus and just strengthen ourselves in Him. Because we can't strengthen ourselves in ourselves, but we strengthen ourselves in Him. So kind of what I do is strengthen myself in the Lord, I kind of figure out a couple words to say and a melody to say it in, and I sing a song to myself about strengthening myself in the Lord my God. And so I'm just going to share. It's a little 30-second song, but it's something that I sing. So it's like this. It's like... Living for the day that I see your face, oh Lord. Living for the day that I see your face, oh Lord. Living for the day that I see your face, oh Lord. Know me, know me, know me, know me, Lord. Living for the day that I see your face, oh Lord. Living for the day that I see your face, oh Lord. Know me, know me, know me, know me, Lord. I just want to run to you, Lord. Give me what I need, don't give me what I want, oh Lord. Know me, know me, know me, know me, Lord. I just want to run to you, Lord. Give me what I need, don't give me what I want, oh Lord. Know me, know me, know me, know me, Lord. Know me, know me, know me, Lord.
That's exciting. You know what? And sometimes we need to encourage ourselves in the Lord. We need to make up our own songs of praise unto our God. And sometimes we need to get away from those people who are going to lead us astray. Just like Harrison was saying, he just knew if he stuck around with those friends of his, those friends were going to pull him down. He needed to find godly friends, get engaged in the church. What a testimony, what a great God.